Today I'm going to be trying breakfast at a garden centre, which is a bit of an unusual place to go for a meal. I mean, we all know garden centres are the place to go if you want some soil, some plants, some gardening equipment. But is it the place to go for breakfast? Well, today I'm going to find out. So the garden centre I'm at today is the Leeds Garden Centre, and this is the entrance. Let's head in. So I'm not really that familiar with garden centres, but do they all have restaurants inside? I mean, does your closest one have a restaurant? Comment down below if it does. You've even got fish in this one. Have a look at them. Check out the size of that one. Somewhere in here there's a restaurant, but it's a pretty large garden centre, so I'm going to have to go hunting. The Gardener's Retreat restaurant. I think it's this way. Right, let's head in. Okay, I'm all seated. Let's check out the menu. So this is it, the menu. Gardener's Retreat. We've got drinks, and you know what I spotted? They do a carvery here, check that out. Who knew you can get a carvery at a garden centre? You know what, I might have to come back for that one day. A carvery in a garden centre. We've got the drinks and the breakfast here. I think the one that I'm going to go for is the big breakfast right there, which is that one, the big breakfast at a garden centre. Also got myself a cup of tea. Just while we're waiting, let's check out the restaurant. So this is what it looks like. Pretty big for a garden centre, I think, even though I'm not really familiar with garden centre restaurants. But this is it, and you've got seating around there as well. Right, so breakfast has arrived, and you know what, it's a pretty big one. Let me show you. Okay, so this is it. Check that out. So let's go through what we've got. Got black pudding to start off with, so that was an extra, so I did add that for an extra price. We've got sausage. I think, is that a Cumberland one where it curls into a circle? We've also got some bacon under there, some hash browns, some mushrooms too, a big tomato, nicely grilled, and I think that's 2 eggs, so I think there's another egg under that one, some baked beans, and we've got toast as well. Right, let's dig into this. Okay, so what do we start off with? Let's try. I think I'm going to go in for the hash brown first, so something easy and light. Nice and crispy, golden brown. Look at the colour of that. Really nice and brown. So in some places it's quite yellow and golden, but this one nicely coloured. Right, let's try it. Okay, so as you can imagine with that one, it's really crispy, so you get a good crunch when you bite into that. Really crispy. The inside is soft, the outside has some good sort of baked potato flavour. It's almost like a jacket potato flavour on the outside, and then you've got soft potato in the middle. It's a nice hash brown. Okay, you know what, I might try the Cumberland sausage and leave that to the end, because it might be the star of the show. So next up, let's go for the bacon. Right, so there it is, big rashers of bacon. Get 2 in this breakfast. Nicely golden there, brown, grilled. Let's cut off a piece to try. Okay, so here it is, the bacon. So I do quite like the fatty bits with a bit of the meat, because the fat is where all the flavour is. Alright, let's go for a taste of this. Okay, so that is some juicy bacon there. Really thick as well. So when you bite into that, it's a good thick piece of bacon. But there's a slight crunch on the outside. It's a little crispy. You get a meaty, porky flavour as well. That's salty. That familiar salty bacon flavour. But that, some good meaty bacon. Right, let's go for a veg break. And going for the mushrooms. So you get the smaller mushrooms here, and you get a few of them in here rather than the big large ones. Let me cut off a piece of this and try it. There we are, the mushroom. Okay, so that is a good mushroom there. Nice and chewy, soft, spongy, almost meaty in texture. You get the mushroom flavour coming through, and it's a bit buttery as well. It's a good mushroom. Next up, I've got to try the egg and break into that yolk, but I think you need a close-up for that. Okay, let's see how good this egg is and if it's a runny yolk. Okay, check that out. Perfectly runny. That is a nice runny egg. Right, here it is, the egg with the runny yolk all over it. Right, let's try this out. Okay, so this egg is perfectly cooked there, really soft. It melts in your mouth as you bite into it. The yolk is creamy. You get a really nice creamy flavour when you bite into it. But that is a soft egg. Okay, let's go in for the beans next. So you get a nice, you know what, decently sized pot of beans. That, you know what, is really heavy, so decent portion. Are they going to be Heinz though? What brand are these? Can I guess? Right, let's try it and see. Okay, so the beans, they're soft, tomatoey, juicy, a little sour. There's a bit of a tang when you bite into it. I think they probably are Heinz baked beans. Right, next up, let's go in for the black pudding. Have a look at that. So dark in colour. You can see the fat running through it. You know what, decent portion as well. Sometimes you can get really thin black pudding with a breakfast, but this is a nice thick one. Okay, so this is the inside of it. Have a look at that. Can you make that out with it being so dark and black in there? Don't know if you can see. It's kind of a cakey texture, slightly red in colour, but you can see the bits of, I think, fat running through it. Let's try it. Okay, so this black pudding is a little sort of lighter than others. It's not as gamey or irony. So you bite into that, it is crispy on the outside, so you get a nice crunchy texture, meaty flavour. It kind of tastes herby as well, so I think there might be some herbs in there, but it doesn't have that sort of irony gaminess that some black puddings have. So that is quite a nice delicate flavour, and a nice crisp on the outside too. Okay, let's go in next for some tomato. So this is a nicely grilled one, so you can see the sort of dark grill marks there. I think it's been freshly grilled, and a nice big tomato as well. Sometimes you can get sort of small half tomatoes, but this is a nice big one. and well grilled. Right, let's try it. Okay, again, a good tomato. So you can taste the tanginess of that tomato, the flavour there, the juiciness and freshness, but then you get a bit of a grill flavour. So the grill marks there really do add that smoky sort of grill flavour. Right, let's try out this sausage next. So let me show you what it looks like. You know what, I'm going to go with my hands. So there it is. So that, as it says on the menu, is a Cumberland sausage. And is that more traditional where it goes into this round circular shape? Quite thin, but because it goes into this big sort of swirl, there's quite a lot of meat in there. It feels heavy. Right, let's try some of this. Okay, so this is it. Have a look at that. Well grilled on the outside. I think it's been done fresh, and that texture in the middle is meaty, so it feels and looks meatier than your standard sort of sausage. So I think there's probably going to be a lot of meat content in there. Let's try it and see. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of meat in there. So you bite into that, the skin, not much of a snap in there, but you do get a bit of a sort of grilly flavour. But the star, I think, is the meat inside. So when you bite into that, it's really meaty. It does feel like you're biting into a pork chop. So it feels like pork chop meat that's been sort of ground up and put into a sausage. And then you get the herbiness of it as well. You've got some good herbs going through it. You can taste that flavour. Porky herbness, probably some sage in there. That is a good, high quality meat content sausage. Okay, so before we combo some of these up, let's go in for some of this toast. So you get a choice between brown bread and this white bread. I went for white bread. Okay, so nicely toasted there. Check that out, look at the colour. Good crunch when you bite into it. There's a thick slice of toast too. And that butter is real butter. So it's creamy. Nice toast. Okay, let's do some combos. So first up, we've got bacon, hash brown, egg, and beans. Have a look at that. That is going to be a meaty bite. Here it goes. You know what? I'm not going to lie here, but the bacon is really good. When you bite into the fat there, it just explodes with porky, salty bacon flavour goodness. But next up, we've got mushroom, black pudding, egg, and beans. Right, let's do this one. And next up, we've got that really nice Cumberland sausage, egg, hash brown, and the beans. Right, that is going to be a good bite with that sausage there. Right, let's do it. Okay, for the ultimate bite, we've got everything on the plate. So bacon, hash brown, black pudding, sausage, mushroom, egg, tomato, and beans. Have a look at that. Can I fit this into my mouth? Let's try it. Okay, let me finish up the rest of this breakfast and I'll give you a rundown of the total cost. Have I just found a bit of a hidden gem there? Because that was a nice breakfast. I think the star of the show was definitely the bacon. It was really meaty, a little crisp, salty, porky, and then when you bit into the fat, it just exploded with meaty flavour. So the bacon was delicious. The sausage as well, that was good. You could tell it had a high meat content there because there's a thick meaty texture. The eggs, they were good too. They were really, really soft. Nice runny yolk. They were almost kind of poached, fried. And the hash browns, they were nice, really crispy, good fried flavour, good potato flavour. The black pudding as well, that was good. Not too overpowering and gamey. Right, let's go through the total cost of that breakfast. Okay, so the big breakfast was $11.99, and that included the tea, which I think is pretty good for a meal deal. The black pudding, that was extra, and it was an extra £1.50. So the total cost of all that food was £13.49. Was that worth it? Comment down below what you think. For me, it was. So does that mean we should all be heading down to our local garden centres if they have a restaurant? I think it might. But it does leave me with a question though. It said on the menu that they do a carvery at lunchtimes. So the question is, do I come back for the carvery? If you think I should, click on the like button below. And if you like the video, click on subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.